Hello everybody and welcome back to Shadow Empire, where we are playing as the Salic Federation. Last episode, we have a bit of a scare down south on our southern border. They think we're going to go to war with them, but we weren't. Actually, we're going to go to war with the people that they were at war with to take the territory they were wanting to take. So that kind of, I guess maybe they read my mind there. And we've connected up our southernmost city with the rail network. Now we need to build out the rail network so that it's not just a single line going through everything. We need to create little, interchanges and things. We need to keep building up our metal production, our power production, oil production, just everything. We've got so many spare troops that we could really build out a huge military if we wanted to. So yeah, we've got a lot of things going for us here. One thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get my fighter bombers in on attacking these guys. Oh, yeah. Not bad. 19-1. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh yeah, they did not like that. Okay. So we can keep pushing up. We can use our air to kind of knock them down. So that works out. That is good. Good. Can we raise more air units? Question. To independent units, regiments. Fighter bombers, we can. Well, no, we're just shy. It's a lot of metal. Damn, a lot of metal. If we're looking for brigades, do light armor. Would just like a regular armor. I think we're working on that. Mechanized light infantry would be interesting. Instead of motorized, get a mechanized unit. Don't have the metal for it. But maybe in a turn or two, if we're building out this metal facility, this metal mine here, maybe we need to think about constructing this. What's our second largest? So Flint's our second largest. I think Flint. You need some upgrades. We're going to build a university here. And a bureaucratic office. Liberty also needs these things. Needs a university. And a bureaucrat office. So you'll be on station here soon. These guys need to get in position. It'll take a bit, but they'll get there. You over here. Not a shot there. Okay, so the air will be used to clear out this area, then we'll move it up to Flint, and it'll be helping clear out this. We're coming up. We'll reinforce this area a bit. Okay. Question is, we could theoretically try and bring in these guys as a client state and then take them over, divert their forces down south here for a second front to lessen the impact down here. Let's see. Minor. Offer protection. It's already at war with a major. Darn. Could bring in these guys. Redhold. Bring in their military down south. Help pacify things. Maybe pacify these guys quickly. Success, okay. So Redhold will be a client state for us. They don't have a huge number of forces. They're actually kind of shitty. Yeah, they're raiders, so that's why. Who are you at war with? What is your... That's a major. Okay, so they're at war with these guys. Okay. We might want to divert forces from here to here, knock them out. To open up another front, maybe? I don't know. Okay, well, there's not a lot else we can really do, so let's go to the next turn. Actually, what we're going to do is reinforce our border with these guys pretty heavily. Then maybe go to war with these guys soon. Okay, next turn. I want to check how strong is this front here. Fairly strong. And this should be easy to kind of knock out with repeated airstrikes. I mean, if they go to war with us, we could have forces there quickly. We've got rail. We need to upgrade our rail to increase our strategic redeployment budget. I think we also need to finally look into, when we get a chance, upgrading our medium bombers. Okay, subject to talk about. Something I can talk about for a long time. See, that's the thing. That's the reason it always goes back to like tabletop wargaming or role-playing games or things like that, is because I know that. Like, I've got a lot of knowledge in that field, and I can kind of talk about it for a long time. You know, there's so like if I wanted to alienate a lot of my audience, I could just talk about how I honestly just don't like Pathfinder, or how I think D&D 5e is okay, but it definitely has a lot of faults that start showing once you start getting above level, like, 10. Actually, even before that. Okay, let's do this. We'll do that. We'll do that for the next couple episodes. That'll be my subject, because I don't know. We keep thinking about doing, like, a D&D or a tabletop themed podcast, but I don't know when that's going to happen, or if it's going to happen. So I might as well just get my thoughts out there. You know, who knows if anybody even wants them. But yeah, I think D&D 5e has problems. It's got real balancing issues that make it very difficult to run a fun game of 5e for a standard size party. Now, what I mean by that is there is, if you, how do I want to say that? Encounter balancing is almost non-existent. Because, okay, the way, if you don't know, if you're a GM, the way you kind of are supposed to balance parties is based off of what's called CR, challenge rating. And each monster has a challenge rating, and there's a guide and a little bit of math you have to do to kind of figure out, like, how many like, what challenge rating monsters and how many equate to a easy, medium, hard, and deadly encounter for X number of players at X level. It's not super hard, and there's a lot of calculators online and stuff to help with it. It is an entirely useless metric to making a decent encounter. If you go by the book, you can honestly have like two CR like 7 monsters. So that's an overall rating for an encounter of 14 of all the CRs added together. Well, actually, it's CR7 times 2. It's like there's a thing, I think that's equivalent to like a CR9 or something like that. The math is difficult, but it's honestly, like, if you have like a standard part, it's not hard. Like they'll blow through that in no time. I've had to stop using medium. I've had to stop using hard encounters. I've had to make things deadly every encounter to make them a challenge, like, so that I could damage my party. Because if you don't know, like, I'm a GM for a party kind of every week, and I have been doing it for a couple of years, and it's fun. I enjoy it, but it is it's definitely shown to me problems with the system, pretty bad problems with it, that are hard to kind of deal with. Like, it's very hard to balance those encounters. I found myself, once you start getting in the upper levels, once you start getting into the later half of the game, so above level 10 for players, you've got to pull a lot of tricks to make encounters fun for the players, because that's the thing. A difficult encounter is a fun encounter if it's made right, like if you are doing it correctly. It doesn't just have to be like, oh, it's hard, it sucks. No, players want to be challenged, and you get these situations where, you know, they're blowing through these creatures that theoretically it's supposed to be a hard encounter. They're just blowing through them in 2 turns, and they're not having fun. You're not having fun. The recommended rewards for such encounters are so blown out of proportion to how difficult they are that it makes nothing a challenge. And you got to do a lot of work as a GM. And we'll come back to that subject next turn. More fuel deposits. Okay. Let's check this. National budget allocations I'm good with. People 100 fleeing from the Triple Empire. Welcome them anyway. Turns against us. Send an envoy to promote us. Yeah, I'll do that. Failure. Darn. Okay. Trade faction. Keep with the trade faction. Isolationist soldiers sucked. I'm hoping the isolationists are less likely to go to war. Okay, let's have an air attack on these guys. Okay, got 2 of them. All right. Nice. So hopefully that makes it a lot easier on a 6-1. Give it a shot. Okay, only 1 left there. So they'll be dealt with next turn. Got him. Knew they had to still be there. Okay, oh, they have a lot more forces than I thought. So we could bring them in at some point, but they're our allies right now, so that's good. Okay. All these militia forces we've been collecting over the turns, slowly getting into a position where they'll be useful again. Okay, these guys have separated. That's good, actually. That helps us out a lot. See, our objective should be hitting these salamanders with overwhelming force. Kill as many of them as possible. Alright, the completely overrun, which gets rid of the forces there. And this one's just going to be impossible for a while. Then down here, these guys, just gonna have to wait. Definitely think we're gonna construct an air base here. We're gonna spend no metal this turn. Try and build up a reserve. Okay, next turn you take a position there, and then we've got fairly loaded border all the way down, so that's good. And then we're going to have our northern border just stacked with militia forces, which, yeah, is not going to be great, but hopefully we can push in far enough on the north they'll divert to get the weaker units, and then in the south we do the same, and we kind of just keep them guessing where we're going. Yeah, so many solar panels they're making. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, you're being built up. You're being built up. Your solar panels are up. Let's open contact with this miner. Steel fort. Okay. So they won't be coming after us anymore. And then unification with these guys. Difficulty 3. Okay. Not possible, or at least not likely. These guys at war. Minor regime. We could give it a shot. See if they are still at war. They're still at war. Okay. So that's something we gotta keep in mind. Would be nice just to kind of rush these guys from the north, take over positions, but we don't got anything down south on their border here, so they could really take a lot of really useful land, including a metal mine there, with very little in the way of response from us. That's a Mark II mine. Okay. Alright. Is there anything else we can or should do? Let's look at it. We've got, like, a lot of territory under control. Okay, so you hate us. You're very hostile, so you're likely to go to war with us at any point. You dislike us, you're on blackmail. You here have cold relations, but you're at 100%, so it's kind of you there. Hostile here. Major regime down here. Yeah, definitely want to take this guy. It's a lot of military forces that are opened up that we can then divert down here or kind of anywhere. Yeah, that's all our military uniformed militaries on their border. 2 metal mines, lots of oil, 2 rare metals that we're not even harvesting, 1 radioactive we're not harvesting, we're only getting 1 water. We got plenty. Rain, plenty of rain in our heartland down here. Temperature's good. No detectable radiation. Scavenging points. We got a lot of those. We don't really need it as much anymore. We can kind of keep that in reserve just in case. Yeah. A lot of non-aligned territory. We're only bordering a little bit of it now. So that's actually pretty nice. Yeah, we've already done everything we can over here. Okay, well, I think it's time for us to end the episode here. Because if we go through with it, we're going to be over time. I don't want to be over time for another episode, so we're gonna end it right now, and then we'll come back next turn with the in between turn. Oh, we do have some movement down here. We can go ahead and do. Get over here and help with taking a strong stance on our border. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this episode. So Thank you for joining me for this episode. If you'd like to, please leave a comment down below, hit that like button. If you want to help support channel, hit the subscribe button down below, as well as take a look at the description down below where I have links to my Discord and my Patreon page. I'll see all of you in the next episode. Bye.